What's up guys, Blade Master here, going to be bringing you some Total War Warhammer multiplayer action that might actually come as a surprise to some of you people, seeing as the last like 3 or 4 uploads have been of Overwatch and not Total War Warhammer. Actually very surprised that it's going smoothly so far. Look at this is like almost 60 frames per second. That's actually one of the reasons. I don't have a great computer right now. I mean, I have a 770 GTX and everything else is pretty much fine, but it's the graphics card that's bottling it. Or bottlenecking my computer's performance. So that is pretty much the biggest reason why it's not really running very well. But I'm planning to get the GTX 1070 as soon as third-party video cards start releasing. So I've taken the Greenskins in this battle, and my opponent is fighting as the Dwarves. Another reason that I don't really like the way Total War Warhammer multiplayer works is that armies such as this tend to be a bit more successful. At least this is just most likely just my experience. But I tend to see that very like smaller armies, especially with something like the Greenskins, you don't expect small armies to work. I don't think that that's their playstyle. The smaller armies seem to work, which are like elite heavy, because for Greenskins, it's basically the Black Orcs that are the best. I mean, they're meant to be their best infantry unit, but they're also the most cost effective, it seems, as this gyro bomber from my opponent fires somewhere else. I believe he wanted to take out my Savage Orcs. The Savage Orcs are supposed to be the main line. They're like 450 talents. An army of Greenskins should be, I think, composed of mainly Savage Orcs and stuff like that, right? I mean, isn't it supposed to be a bunch of low-tier mainline infantry? But anyways, that's besides the point. Another reason that I don't really like Total War Warhammer is because this is just purely an opinion. I just feel that the battles take very less time, and I'm also, this is again just me most likely, but I'm at this really weird zone where I am not as good as many of the players who start playing from day one. I started playing after like 3 weeks, I think. I'm not as good as many of the players who start playing from day one. So like many people in my friends group, my Steam group or Steam friends list, they're just leagues better than me, and I just can't cope. I always lose, and that's not really very fun. And on the other hand, I play on quick battle, and I very rarely come up against good players and find good battles. This actually is one of those exceptions. This, I think, is one of the best games that I've played in Total War Warhammer. Granted, I've only played like 6 or 7 games so far, but yeah. So take it for what it's worth. But I still think this is a very good battle. Anyways, let's go back into the battle. We are fighting in the map of Waldenhof. And I've taken a Greenskin army composed of 2 giants. One giant I've sent on a shift and right click mission that is just dragging a path along the far side of this dwarven army, trying to get into the rear of them. Another of the giants is chilling back there. My opponent has brought he's brought a ton of thunderers, and their armor piercing. God damn it, this is annoying me. The armor piercing values of these guns is not going to play too much against the Greenskins, but again, the Greenskins with Black Orc mainline, of course, are going to suffer against AP damaging guns. So I'm using the 2 Doom Divers that I have to pound these Thunderers until they can no longer fire, and I'm steadily moving back my main line as they try and move up in front. I was trying to position my main line on top of this hill because he was on top of this hill, so that I wanted to get like a more even ground. But since he was moving up with his Thunderers, I didn't want to take that engagement just yet. I've also got 2 Night Goblin Shamans. His Gyro Bomber is being like the least bit of nuisance as possible. It's taken a lot of damage, it's not done anything, and I think many of the units right now are just very poorly balanced. Not very poorly, but poorly enough balanced that you tend to take only like 4 or 5 units in any army, and the rest of them are just like, there's a difference between being so super balanced that tournament players will only pick like 2 or 3 units always, but that's always going to be true. But there's also a level of balance where even if you want to play a fun game, you still want to take a bunch of different types of units who will all perform somewhat well in their role, and that's not currently happening, I think. So yeah, I've brought these are 1, 2 orc boys. Sorry, no savage orcs. 2 orc boys and 3 black orcs two Night Goblin Shamans, and Grimgor Ironhide, another unit that I don't think is performing up to its role. Very expensive Lord, and he's not worth it, it seems, at least in my experience. On the other hand, I don't know who this guy is. He's some sort of Dwarven Master with a Runesmith, and I'm going to pop, this is such a cool looking spell. It's I forget what it's called, but it's such a dope. Curse of the Bad Moon, yeah, that's what it's called. So, a quick little tip about Curse of the Bad Moon. Sorry, not Curse of the Bad Moon, this one is Curse of the Bad Moon, but a quick tip about magic and a specific spell, at least for the Greenskins, when you're coming up against enemy lords, and you always want to have spells that will snipe off enemy generals handy. You'd want to, what I tend to do is map my keyboard to 3 and 4 on both my Night Goblin Shamans. Put 3 on one, put 4 on the other, so that I can easily control them. So what you do is hit 3, which will select one Night Goblin Shaman, and then hit Alt 5. Alt 5 is the default keyboard shortcut for the name of the spell I forget, but it's basically the only single unit magic spell. So it's the only general sniping spell. So you always want to do 3 and then Alt 5, and 4 and then Alt 5, and then 2 of those spells together will just slaughter any general. So does Curse of the Bad Moon. It is very expensive mana wise, so I've completely sacrificed any hero sniping abilities by using this, but it is still doing so much damage to all of these Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards. He's brought a couple of Longbeards and some Dwarf Warriors. My Orc Wolf Chariot is charging in, and so are my Giants. So is one of my Giants. The other one is clumbering down this hill. He's bringing in his general. His general stands no chance. I think the Giants are a dope unit. I don't know why I didn't use them earlier. I just thought that they were unbalanced. I don't know, maybe I was looking at max possibilities or something like that. But I feel that they're really, really good. And so does Achilles, I believe. So these Giants just going to charge through all of these Dwarves and then stomp on the rest of them. My Black Orcs aren't doing too well. I used Grimgor's, all of his abilities, his Wog ability and all that shit. But here, this is the reason why I lost my general. Spoiler alert. My general charges into a bunch of Longbeards, but then his general is busy attacking my general, and I do not focus on his general whatsoever. I'm busy just trying to cleave through the entire main line. His Runesmith is chasing after some of my Orc boys who are routing, but my Giants, man, these Giants are just slaughtering these Dwarves. One has got 38 kills, that's charging through the rear line. The other one's got 24, but it's being held down by some of the Thunders. My Black Orcs, meanwhile, are just not doing too much. And these Black Orcs are going to do pretty decently, I guess, against the Longbeards with great weapons. It's a fight that the Black Orcs will win. Meanwhile, the Goblin Wolf Child is chasing down and killing off any routing Thunderers. This Giant is doing decently. It's holding down despite a lot of fire from the initial bits. But it doesn't look like Grimgor is very, very happy now. Grimgor is already routing, and that's simply because of his Dwarven General, who's just dealing so much damage. And I had no idea during the game. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Where is Grimgor? And it turns out he was gangbanged by a Dwarven King. The Giants, though, will hold true despite a Gen death. There we go, a Gen has died. But the Giants will be okay because they have 100 leadership. So while a lot of my other units are going to be shaken, the Black Orcs will stand true because they just have great leadership themselves. They have like 70 leadership, and the Giants definitely will stand true because they have even higher leadership, and they also cause terror. So if and when I do kill off the enemy general, then these Giants with their terror causing abilities are going to cause even more mortalities for these guys. So completely disregarded his general, which is a massive mistake. I was focusing in on these units, which is kind of a trait that I've continued since Total War Rome 2, focusing on the main line rather than the general. But good lord, Curse of the Bad Moon. It is such an epic spell. This is an amazing spell. Again, just slaughters through a lot of these dwarf warriors. It doesn't do too much damage in terms of men lost, but health-wise, it kills off a lot of their HP. So this Giant has done decently, 74 kills. Some of the Thunderers are back and they're taking good shots against my Goblin Wolf Chariot, so I'm going to try and pull them back. And now I'm going to just focus in on the enemy general. I don't have any mana for any sort of Alt 5 abilities. I forget what it's called, sorry. I really wish I remembered. Maybe I can find out from here. Boom. Vindictive Glare. That's what it's called. Vindictive Glare is Alt F5. I'm almost 100% sure that it's called the hotkey is Alt F5. So yeah. Anyways, he's going to topple down. The giant's just going to topple the shit out of this dwarf king, and he's going to try and keep fighting back. But there's just so many units now. All the other units have routed because of terror, I believe. So even though the general still is alive, there's just too many army losses. The dwarf king does very well against this giant and slays a giant, but so many orc boys and black orcs surround him and this supremely powerful giant that it's not going to look too good for the enemy general. I wish I could zoom down just a little bit more. That's just me. Anyways, this is a good game. This was one of the few good games that I played in Total War Warhammer. And the thing that separated this game from the rest was actual tactical maneuvering, moving we both took our time. It wasn't just a bum rush. I played so many quick battles where it's just a literal bum rush between the two armies. So in this, both of us took our time. I don't know why he didn't bring any artillery. I believe artillery is very important for dwarves. I haven't played too much with the dwarves. I think I played only one game with the dwarves. So I'm not the person to comment on them. But from what it seems, artillery and just having long range capability is very essential for dwarves, and he didn't bring that, which is a big mistake. And he also brought this gyro bomber. Instead of that, he could have spent a lot on artillery. I believe the rest of his army was pretty decent, actually. I think it was quite nice. I might try out some dwarf builds later on. I believe there was a commenter who someone commented on a dwarf army for me to take, so I'll try that out. But yeah, an army with 5, 10, 13 units beats out an army with almost 20. I don't really like that. I don't really like going so elite heavy and then winning. I don't know. Mixed feelings still about Total War Warhammer. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Total War Warhammer and the meta. And if you guys like this video, please leave a like, blah, blah, blah. And stay tuned for more. Peace.